I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Casinopolis. I always do the box thing where I'm like, hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Sprawlopolis, but I can't do that with a button shot game, particularly a prototype that doesn't even have the wallet, so I'm reviewing Casinopolis today. I hope you enjoy this review. Anyways, Casinopolis is the newest game in the Sprawlopolis line of games. I already said it, but this is a prototype. All rules and components subject to change. And yes, it is Casinopolis. I was surprised when I first heard this was coming, because there's like Sprawlopolis, there's Agripolis, there's Naturopolis, which the names do get harder and harder to say as you go along, but Casinopolis feels like a very big, different chain from that. But it does bring some new, interesting twists to the genre. So, I'm going to tell you how the game plays, I'm going to focus some of the differences for those of you who know Sprawlopolis, and then I, of course, will tell you my thoughts down below. Oh, and of course, link to the crowdfunding campaign down below. Anyways, the general idea of this game is it is primarily designed as a solo game. Yes, it's 1 to 4 players. Yes, you could play with more. I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to teach it as if it's a one-player game over here, and there are rules to share the burden of the duties with other players if you want that. I primarily recommend it as a one-player experience. But that said, you're going to go ahead and start by shuffling up the deck over here and then drawing the 3 rules you're going to have, the 3 scoring conditions. And so, for example, we're going to have this tile over here. This one, we have hot streaks over here, and we have strip clubs over here, and then we have the living on the edge over here. Okay, these are going to be the 3 goals we have in play, and the order of these goals does matter. That's already going to be different for those of you who know the previous games, but going left to right, it does matter which one's where. We'll talk about that soon. From there, you're going to go ahead and put a setup card into play, and then you're going to have your own set hand of 3 cards over here that you're going to be able to start adding to this, to this casino that you're building, this new improved Vegas strip that you are responsible for as you go. To that end, there's a few things you need to know. These areas are called blocks. Each of these is an individual block. You might also notice that there's 3 colors. 1 color is duplicated, which is already different than some of the Sprawlopolis games you may have played, but we have 3 primary themes as far as the casinos. There's like Egyptian, medieval, and something else. I don't remember the exact casino themes, but there's 3 different themes, and you're going to be scoring points by a few different ways. The first way you're scoring points is you're going to score points for the largest block, the largest full casino of each color. What that means is, for example, right now, if this were the current board situation like this, let's pretend this were the current situation like so, then right now we would be scoring 4 points for our largest red, 3 points for our largest blue, and 1 point for our largest yellow. But you're also going to lose points. You're going to lose points for every unique road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are all the roads. We didn't create a single network, and too much road, too much traffic congestion, whatever you want to call it, you lose a point for every single road. Those are the default rules for the game. But then the scoring cards come into play. You see, you have these scoring cards coming over here. Well, actually, there's one more thing. There's one more thing I forgot. You see, this is the problem. I'm playing so much Sprawlopolis. There's one more thing we should talk about, which I'll see if I can find a card that will actually show it to you as ideally or quickly as possible over here. Can I find one that does it? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can find one. Let's see what we can do over here. Let's go ahead and place... Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a little card that would go here, but effectively, if you have 3 of the same symbol in a row on a connected road, then you're going to score points for that. So, for example, can I do this? I should be able to find a spot. There we go. There's that over there. If we have that, and then we got one more, so over there, if we were to build this like this, then you have 3, 1, 2, 3, so you're going to score points for those as well every time you have a connected set of the same symbol. There are 6 different symbols in the game. So, that's the basic rules before you get to these scoring cards. These scoring cards will modify those rules. The first thing it does is it gives you your scoring goal. Your goal is 12 plus 13 plus 9 for a total of 25, 34. 34 points is the score you're going for. But it also gives you the ways you score points, and this is where the order matters because it accelerates left to right. You get 1 point for each row or column with at least 3 blocks and no resorts. Okay, so you get 1 point for whatever the scoring card this is. For this card, you're going to get 2 points. 2 points for each clover icon on the strip. The strip specifically is the single longest road you have in the game. Sometimes cards will reference it, sometimes it won't. If they don't, you don't need to know that. But if a card references, the strip is the longest road you have in the game. So right now, this is our longest road, and this would be worth 2 points for each clover icon on this road as long as it stays the longest road. And then living on the edge is 3 points for a corner block on your largest casino. Corner blocks have 2 exposed edges. So you're going to look for your single largest casino, which right now would be this one over here. And so this one would be worth 1, 2 times 3 for those 2 corner blocks in our single largest casino. That's going to be an escalating degree where whenever it shows casino points over here, that little circle, it means 1, 2, or 3 points for the thing that you're doing, which means your prioritization every game is going to be different. Even if you have the exact same combination of cards, you will play. If you have this board right now and you swap these two cards, you are playing a very different game with very different goals. And I like that little twist to the series. Now I've told you kind of how you score and all those things. Let's talk about how you play. Like I said already, you're going to have 3 cards in front of you at any given point, and you're going to place a card into the grid, either adjacent to another card or overlapping, and then draw another card, rinse and repeat until you're done. That's everything. You now know everything you need to know about Sprawlopolis, Casinopolis, outside of the multiplayer rules, which generally involve each player having an additional card, and then you kind of pass your hand of 3 cards after you play and refill. You're mostly just sharing the burden of the duty. That is everything you need to know over here. Let's talk about my review. Now, in general, if you watch this channel, you probably know that I am a big fan of the Sprawlopolis series. Sprawlopolis to me is the game that made me love Button Shy as a company in terms of what they do. Not every game is going to be for me, but they have a bunch of winners that I've really enjoyed, and Sprawlopolis was the original one that I would literally travel to travel with it to other countries and just play this little pocket game again and again and again that just felt similar to kind of pulling out your phone and playing an app game, but more satisfying, a little bit more brain burnery, a little more tactile, just a better, enjoyable experience that I really enjoyed. And so Sprawlopolis is a game that I learned to love. From there, they put out Agropolis and Naturopolis. I think I like Naturopolis second and then Agropolis third. They're all fine, but they mostly kind of do the same thing. They give you different goals. They do give you more variety. They have ways of combining. They have Combopolis and Ultrapolis and all those things that let you combine the systems. You can check out a full review of the entire system with all the expansions on my channel if you want to check that out. But overall, I really enjoyed the genre. I have my preferences and favorites within it. I think Casinopolis, and this review is a little different format than my usual review, but I think Casinopolis is my second favorite in the series. I still think Sprawlopolis to me is the first and best that has that purity of the concept. And Casinopolis has a few things I don't necessarily love as much, which I'll get to in a second, but overall, the thing I really, really enjoy about Casinopolis is this point multiplier system. The fact that as you're playing through the game, you're loosely paying attention to this, but you're really prioritizing these 2 cards to figure out where you can get points and combinations of points from prioritizing the things that are going to give you the most points in the game. And I think it's a really solid twist to the genre, to the series, that I haven't seen yet from them. So I think it's a good twist and it's a good change up to the series. The thing that I don't love as much is I've personally found, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but I've personally found that trying to get those points for getting a chain of symbols on the grid, I find that focusing on that almost always just causes me to lose greater focus everywhere else, because as it is, you're already trying to be mindful of 3 different cards, you're trying to be mindful of not having too many roads, and trying to build the biggest casinos by trying to have like colors together. And that all synergizes pretty decently as you go. I find trying to get the chain grouping of symbols, the amount of points you get for it is so minimal versus the amount of effort you have to go towards it that I have found personally after several games that I just started ignoring that entirely. If it happens to come up, I will certainly claim the points, but otherwise I kind of just ignore it. You can often get more points from doing anything else in the game. That area, I like the thematics of it. I like the slot thematics, and again, this is a prototype and rules components subject to change, so I do kind of hope they in some way tweak it or adjust it. Like, I do hope that, because I want to see that in the game and I want to see it in a way that matters. As it stands, the concept of the strip is very nice and thematic and feeds into a lot of cards. The concept of the cards and the ordering of those cards, all of that is excellent. And the concept of the slot machine on the roads, I just found that wasn't worth the effort put into pursuing it, which thematically makes me feel sad because I like the thematic approach to it. So overall, my opinion of Casinopolis is I enjoy this game just like I've enjoyed the other games in the series. I think it is my second favorite, not inherently because it might be better than any of the others, but rather because it does something vastly different compared to what Agropolis and Naturopolis change up. I think this is a bigger change, and to that end, if I were picking only 2 games in the series to go with, Sprawlopolis would still be first, but Casinopolis would be a close second because of that point scoring difference. Again, the fact that you can have the exact same scoring cards in play, and yet it's still a totally different game, that is something we've never seen from the series before, so I really appreciate that small tweak and addition to things. Overall, rating-wise, I'm going to come in at a 4.5 out of 5. I am a big fan of the series, and Casinopolis is no exception. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one.